I'm an award-winning sex and relationship expert, AMA. Hi, I'm Dr. Jess. I'm a sex and relationship expert, keynote speaker, television personality, host of the Sex with Dr. Jess podcast, and the resident sexologist for Astroglide. Is it possible to love more than one person? Who do you choose? Yes, many people are in happy, healthy polyamorous relationships, just as you can love more than one child. So too can you love more than one partner. Quick and to the point. Screening. Is it B or no? My vote is a no, but I have nothing at all to back that up with. Nope. When they test the fluid, they find that it's similar to prostatic fluid, with no sperm, in men. It's possible that some pee can come out. One very small sample size study suggested this, but in most cases, it's likely not. What was it like being in school for a PhD in human sexuality? How did people at grad school react when they ask what you're studying and you say human sexuality? Did you have any specific career in mind when you chose to pursue a doctorate in human sexuality? Would you recommend doing postgrad in human sexuality to kids in college who are just floundering around and who also have more than a passing interest in human sexuality? People still react strongly when I tell them what I do for a living. Somehow having sex is perfectly normal, but studying and talking about it makes people uncomfortable. I wouldn't recommend human sexuality as an academic pursuit unless you're really interested in career in the field. And if you are interested, I suggest you take a traditional route, nursing, social work, psychology, and then specialize or take courses in sexuality. You'll have more options when you graduate. When I was in school, I was hoping to graduate and work full-time with teachers in schools. When I graduated, however, I realized that these jobs simply don't exist. I moved into writing, speaking, and media, and I love it. I travel every week to exciting cities, countries, and get to work with people from so many different cultures. I do more learning than teaching, and I still get to volunteer in school when I'm back home in Toronto. I recently ended a relationship because I figured out that my partner was cheating on me. We were having unprotected sex, so I want to get tested. If I do it all at once, am I good to go? Or are these things that I could get that might not show up on a test right away? STIs have different incubation periods, which means that some take longer to show up in terms of symptoms and test results. Everyone should get tested regularly, even if you are using condoms. You'll need to ask your healthcare practitioner which STIs they are testing for. Often you are not tested for HPV, for example, if you are not showing symptoms. Kissing, can it be taught by universally appealing to everyone, or is it a case of individual taste and baby hippos, too cute for words? Or are there words? Kissing, definitely a matter of personal taste. No technique is a surefire winner, despite what the marketing department writes on the back of my books. I'd like to talk to my partner about having an open relationship, but I'm not really sure how to bring it up. Is there a way to explain it that won't blow up my relationship? Start with a pop culture reference and use it to open the conversation. Did you watch the threesome scene in House of Cards? Or did you read about Will and Jada Smith's allegedly open relationship? Use these references and storylines to gauge their interest. Hello, Dr. Jess. Whenever I engage in intercourse, it hurts a lot, in spite of enough lubrication. I have been fortunate to have a very patient and understanding husband, but I want to find a solution to this problem. Could there be something physically wrong with me? It's possible that it's a physical issue. I have to emphasize that I'm a PhD, not a medical doctor. Have you seen your healthcare provider? I would recommend that you visit your doctor, but also visit a pelvic floor physiotherapist. They get right in there and give you exercises that are specific to your issues. It's not just about doing Kegels. In fact, you may be hypertonic, in which case, Kegels can do more harm than good. It's also possible that you're not turned on, relaxed. Mindfulness and CBD can help with this. Some people experience vaginismus. The muscles clamp up so tightly that it feels like you can even insert a Q-tip. There are some online resources to help with this, and you can work on breathing and relaxation while working with dilators. But the first stop is a good healthcare practitioner, and I can help you to find a pelvic floor therapist too, if you let me know where you're located. I finish way too quickly. We're talking less than a minute. I try my best to make up for it, in always offering oral, fingers, foreplay, kissing, everything. She says it's not a problem, and content, but, of course, I still have my doubts. It's starting to affect my drive because while I want to have sex, I'm hesitant because I'm worried about being horrible. I've tried start, stop, but it's pretty ridiculous. How do I stop finishing so damn quick? How do I stop from letting it me up inside? Have you tried masturbating really slowly as practice? Cock rings. Masturbating before I have sex. I've done one and stopped myself from finishing. How many times of practice does it take before there's a difference? Never tried a ring. I'm unsure of how fast I can get it up. Again, to masturbate beforehand. Basically, I'm just way too sensitive. Even a hand job or oral sets me off quickly. Do you use condoms? Some people say they last longer with condoms. I would say that if you practice a few times per week for about a month, try using a sleeve to increase sensitivity. It should get easier as you go. Ultimately, if you stop thinking about it, you'll likely last longer too. I know this is a huge challenge though. What's your opinion on the NoFap movement? Oh, I had to Google that one. I hadn't heard of it. I think that abstaining from sexual activity can be great, if it's a matter of personal choice. However, some of the purported benefits don't line up with the research. Improved brain function, energy levels. There are studies suggesting the opposite. Sex improves cognitive functioning and boosts energy levels. Hey Dr. Jess, my wife has always struggled with getting pulled out of the mood during sex by something that distracts her. It could be a sound I make or that is made by what we're doing. A sudden discomfort from the position, something I say or anything, really. She gets easily distracted and then loses interest completely in the sex act. I can almost feel it happening, her whole body movement changes and she dances up. The only time it doesn't happen is when she's drunk. Is this common? Any tips? Thanks. Yes, it's common. Some of us are easily distracted. Sensory overload can help to keep her in the moment, blindfold her, or make sure the room is pitch black. Play loud music to drown out any sounds from next door. Talk in her ear, find out what she likes to hear, and tease out a fantasy to help her to escape from reality. Read a sexy story or watch couples burn together. Just like watching a TV show or movie evokes real emotion, so too can sexy storylines. My GF is the best person in the world. She would never cheat on me, but most of the time she's out. I think about how she could cheating on me. How can I stop thinking these thoughts and relax? Great question. Try a mini CBT exercise. Make 2 columns, write down evidence that supports your fear that she is cheating in one column, and evidence that refutes your fear in the other. She has never cheated. She's an honest person. She loves me. She reassures me. Look at each set of statements and reformulate a more realistic thought. You can use a CBT app to do these too. My significant other recently confessed to having a foot fetish. I'm not necessarily against the idea, but I'm a little freaked out. Is this normal? If I decide to try it, what does that even involve? It's the most common of fetishes, but foot fetishes come in many forms. Some people like to kiss, lick, suck, and caress feet, while others prefer to admire from afar. Some people prefer to play with objects associated with feet, stockings, boots, while others may want to rub feet right against their genitals. Ask your partner what they're into and consider getting a pedicure. We noticed that when I come on my girlfriend, over time she gets a strange rash. Maybe she's allergic to my sperm or something. Allergy to semen is quite rare. Symptoms usually occur 10-30 minutes after contact, and the best way to address it is to use condoms. You may also use the withdrawal method if you're good at recognizing the point of ejaculatory inevitability, but you may also be allergic to your pre-cum. There can be sperm in your pre-cum if you recently ejaculated. Hi Dr. Jess, I'm a 30 years old married man, and I have an issue where it takes a very long time for me to orgasm during intercourse, 45 plus minutes usually. If I put my mind to it, I can get it down to 20 or so. If I focus on it, it's not unpleasurable, but my wife doesn't like the time commitment, and it's hard to talk her into sex most of the time. The truly odd thing is that if I masturbate, I can get the job done in a minute or two. But when I do that, I don't stroke my penis very much at all. Is this situation common? And can anything be done to help me improve my speed? You might need more friction during intercourse. This isn't uncommon. We hear so much about ED, and the focus is so heavily weighted toward lasting longer for men, but there are many men who wish they could ejaculate and orgasm more quickly. You might consider a toy to increase friction, or you can simply use your hand, or ask your wife to use hers, to stroke the lower half of your penis during intercourse. In college, I majored in human sexuality, but after I was done with it, I felt really desensitized when it came to sex. I find myself to be quite asexual actually. If anything, I thought I would become more sexual because, well, I was a big man whore in college. Just wondering if that is normal in the line of work or not. Would you consider yourself a very sexual person and enjoy it? Or do you just like helping others with their issues? Yes, starting sex can be desensitizing. I don't think you're alone. It's normal, but not universal. For me, I found that my interest ebbs and flows. And because I've been with the same partner for 15 years, what I want has changed drastically. You might find that a few months from now, your interest becomes renewed. Or you might find that you develop a niche interest in particular type of sex, loving sex, emotional sex, group sex. Any advice for someone in a relationship with a person who is asexual due to their medication? Sometimes natural supplements can help. I also suggest that they talk to their doctor about other options that perhaps offer fewer side effects. Many medical practitioners are trained to ask about sexual side effects, but if it's affecting your relationship and/or quality of life, you should speak up. Could you give a top list of things people most commonly do wrong? They don't talk enough about what they want from their relationship and sex lives. We have sex, but we don't talk about it. We plan weddings, but we don't plan marriages. I want to change this. Thanks a lot for watching, and don't forget to watch other videos.